Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Breaking at noon, key decisions made in the trial for the suspected Oxford High School shooter during a hearing this morning. But we want to begin with different breaking news. Just into the newsroom, survivors of the Larry Nassar event taking on the FBI, 13 women filing claims seeking $10 million each from the FBI. They say a botched investigation by the FBI led to more abuse. An Inspector General investigation found the FBI failed to address complaints made against Nassar as far back as 2015, waiting months before opening a formal investigation. Survivors say that gave Nassar 16 more months to continue abusing his victims.
No one should have been assaulted after the summer of 2015 because the FBI should have done its job. To know the FBI could have helped to avoid this trauma, it disgusts me and it hurts me. This incredible systemic breakdown shows that there is needed change in the way that the FBI responds to cases of abuse.
The group is not suing the FBI yet. Under federal guidelines, federal law, the government has 6 months to reply to the claim, and a lawsuit could then follow. The Justice Department originally decided not to prosecute the FBI agents involved, but last year reopened the case. Our other top story, we now know when the teen accused of killing 4 classmates at Oxford High School will likely go to trial. Ethan Crumbley will stay in an adult jail while he waits for that date. Sean Lay is live in Pontiac with more on the developments from the court hearing. Sean, I don't think anybody was surprised that he's going to stay in adult jail.
Those are the two main issues you're hitting on, Jason. Good afternoon to you. Would he have to stay in adult jail or be moved to Children's Village? You hit the nail on the head. The decision was made to keep him in the Oakland County Jail, but also making big news out of this hearing. A trial date has now been set for September 6th for the accused Oxford school shooter. The accused Oxford High School shooter appearing for court today over Zoom from the Oakland County Jail. And that's where this 15-year-old, soon to be 16-year-old, is going to remain. By law, every 30 days, the court must review if a juvenile should remain in an adult jail or be transferred to juvenile detention, depending on what the juvenile is charged with. In this matter, multiple high school students were shot and badly injured. 4 Oxford High School students, Hannah St. Juliana, Justin Schilling, Tate Meir, and Madison Baldwin, were shot and killed. No evidence was presented during today's hearing to move the teen to juvenile detention.
The court does not see any reason to change its prior ruling as it relates to the defendant's placement at the Oakland County Jail, and therefore the defendant will continue to be placed at the Oakland County Jail.
The other thing to come out of this hearing is that the last time they reviewed whether or not Ethan Crumbley would stay in the Oakland County Jail or be moved, it was made known that the psychiatric evaluation of Crumbley was complete. Now, both sides, prosecutors and defense, have that report of the psychiatric evaluation. However, at this point, it is not yet a public record. We're live at this noon hour. Sean Lay, Local 4. Jason, back to you.
Sean, thank you for that report. A 3-year-old boy shot himself with a gun left on his bed overnight, grazing. Important to say that he did not shoot himself fully into the head. It's going to be a survival situation for that boy. It happened just after or before 3 o'clock this morning on Alameda Street near 8 Mile and John R. on Detroit's west side. Victor Williams is there live with more on how this boy got to that loaded gun in the first place. Victor.
Yes, Jason. Well, this gun apparently belonged to his 16-year-old brother, and it all played out right at this home around 3 a.m. The teenager's still on the run with the gun the 3-year-old got a hold of. The two share a room, and we're told the gun was still loaded and sitting on the 3-year-old's bed after the 16-year-old went to go sleep on the couch in the other room. Police say the 3-year-old was still awake and started playing with the gun, leading to the child being grazed in the head after he accidentally pulled the trigger. The teen then ran into the room, realizing what was happening, apologizing to his dad, and then ran out the house with the weapon. A neighbor calls it a shame that both lives are now deeply affected by what has played out.
Well, you got a kid shot and you got a kid that got to deal with the consequences. They're both kids at the end of the day, so I don't look at a 16-year-old as an adult, so he's just as much of a kid, you know, more knowledgeable, but still a kid, man. They lack information and they don't know. They only know what they see.
And to make matters worse, we're told that this 16-year-old has had behavioral issues and was just allowed to come back into the home just a few weeks ago. On the west side, Victor Williams, Local 4.
Okay, Victor, thank you for that. So we started the day off with some rain, but things are clearing up and warming up as Thursday rolls on. So let's get over to Brandon with what to expect for the rest of the day. Brandon.
Well, some ominous clouds out there, but if you sort of look between, there are gaps we're starting to see, which is great news and pretty much right on the forecast. I mean, not patting myself on the back. We're just seeing the clearing here midday into the afternoon. Temps are flirting with 60 degrees already. 59 in Mount Clemens, 59 at Metro Airport, Ann Arbor at 58. The winds are whipping pretty good out there. West-southwest wind. That will be blowing out to sort of left field at Comerica Park, a pretty good steady breeze. You can see some gaps and holes in the satellite picture, and even more so over Lake Michigan. So we're still, an hour away from getting into that bona fide clearing, and temperatures will respond. Those winds will be whipping pretty good, west-southwest 10 to 25 most of the day, but upper 60s to near 70 today. Your weekend forecast right straight ahead.
Thank you, Brandon. President Biden just gave an update on the U.S. efforts to help the people of Ukraine. The U.S. will send more military support and will help refugees come here. A new program will streamline refugee applications for Ukrainians fleeing the war. As Bree Jackson reports, this all comes as Russia intensifies its attacks.
This latest round of sanctions and military aid comes after Russia launched its new offensive in eastern Ukraine. Russia also revealing a test launch of its new nuclear-capable missile.
Military operations to liberate Mariupol is success.
Declaring victory in Mariupol, Russian President Putin has ordered his troops not to storm the steel plant where hundreds of Ukrainians are holding up. Meanwhile, Russian forces continue their deadly assault in the east. This morning, President Biden announced a new round of aid, including weapons and ammunition to help Ukrainians in the eastern region.
This package includes heavy artillery weapons, dozens of howitzers, and 144,000 rounds of ammunition to go with those howitzers. It also includes more tactical drones.
The administration is also unleashing more sanctions, including major banks, individuals, and the first set of penalties against cryptocurrency mining firms.
So this is part of our stepped-up effort to crack down on those attempting to evade our unprecedented sanctions.
Sanctions have failed to stop Vladimir Putin's aggression so far. Russia now saying it test-launched its new nuclear-capable intercontinental ballistic missile. Putin boasting it makes those who threaten Russia think twice. The Pentagon says Russia notified the U.S. in advance and that the test was routine and not a threat to the U.S. or its allies. Meanwhile, Ukrainians under attack are standing firm.
Citizens don't want to live in Russia, and it's understandable, and all the world sees that we don't want to live in Russia.
Even with more weapons heading to Ukraine, President Zelensky says help is still not coming fast enough. In addition to a new security package from the U.S., leaders from the Netherlands and Canada say they'll also send more heavy weapons to Ukraine. In Washington, I'm Bree Jackson. Back to you.
Thank you, Bree. New here at noon, Elon Musk is moving forward with his attempt to buy Twitter. He says he has lined up more than $46 billion in financing to buy the company. Last week, he announced an offer to pay $54 per share, or about $43 billion, but didn't say how he was going to pay for it. In documents filed with U.S. securities regulators, Musk is exploring whether to take his offer directly to other shareholders and bypass the board altogether. No response yet from Twitter. History could be made today at Comerica Park. The Tigers' Miguel Cabrera is now just one hit away from 3,000 for his career. Last night, Miggy hit 3 singles, leaving him at 29.99. Heading into today's game, he could become the 7th player in all of Major League Baseball history. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands of players over more than a century. Only 7 have 500 home runs and 3,000 hits. The Tigers play the Yankees this afternoon at 1 p.m.